Before we begin learning about the anatomy and physiology of the womb, I want you to take a moment to pause and truly consider the potent magic that dwells within the womb space. Take a look at your surroundings, note the objects made with human hands, and consider every person whose eyes you have ever met. None of these things or people would be here today if they had not first been gestated in the womb, as it is the origin of all human creation. As we learn about the parts of the womb, I invite you to place your hands on the area where the womb is and envision where each of these anatomical parts are. I usually take both of my hands and place them directly below my belly button with my thumb and index fingers touching. If you do not have a womb, I believe you may greatly benefit from this practice by focusing on deep visualization of where the womb is within the human body as you place your hands on your body if it feels appropriate and you feel called to do so. As you place your hands here, close your eyes and put your full awareness on this space. What emotions or feelings arise? What do you wish to strengthen and understand when it comes to the womb? We can derive an intrinsic empowerment from the womb. Allow yourself to saturate in that truth. We will give a brief overview of the significant parts of the womb, including the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, and vagina. When we look at anatomical drawings of the womb, we quickly realize that everything is connected, which is essential for menstruation, fertilization, pregnancy, and childbirth. It also echoes a great reminder of an ultimate truth that nature echoes. Everything is connected. Let's start with the ovaries, which are found on both sides of the uterus. The ovaries are endocrine glands the size and shape of almonds. The hormones secreted in the ovaries are essential in the health and vitality of the menstrual cycle during our reproductive years and include progesterone, estrogen, and androgens. When the body ovulates, it typically does so from one ovary per menstrual cycle. When our mothers were developing in the womb of our grandmothers, they formed all of the eggs they would have in their lifetimes, including the ones that became us, meaning that on a cellular level, we came to be during the gestation of our mother inside of our grandmother's wombs. This also sheds light on the fact that when we are born, we will have all of the eggs that the womb will ever have in its lifetime, which is around 1 to 2 million immature eggs. The fallopian tubes connect the ovaries to the uterus. They are 10 to 12 centimeters long and lined with a mucous membrane that transports sperm and eggs. The uterus is the womb, the pear-shaped, muscular, and hollow organ that sits between the bladder and the rectum. This is the gestational space from where fertilized eggs implant and babies grow. It is our first home and a potent space of creative energy, regardless of whether you want to or can have children. It holds fertile, intuitive, expansive, and transformational power. Cosmic voids are dark spaces, much like our wombs, and this nothingness, as it is called, is spiritually seen as a gateway to manifestation. Whether we have a monthly bleed or not, I want to remind you that we can harness the magic held within our wombs. The cervix is located at the bottom of the uterus and connects the uterus to the vagina and is the gateway to the womb. This is the place where cervical fluid and menstrual blood are released. Throughout the menstrual cycle, the cervix opens and closes much as the moon goes through its cycle, which I will discuss further in the upcoming modules. As it opens, it acts as an entry point for potential sperm, and as it closes, it seals them out of the womb. The cervical fluid that is created and released in this space changes throughout the menstrual cycle and is both an indicator of fertility and what phase of the cycle you are in. Lastly, the vagina is the space that connects the cervix to the vulva. It is an internal organ, a stretchy muscular canal, often called the highway to life, as it is the route through which many babies are born. Cervical fluid and menstrual blood flow through here from the cervix and out through the vaginal opening. The vagina has its own unique set of flora that perfectly balances the vagina to keep it clean and healthy. The 4 main hormones that orchestrate the menstrual cycle and will be discussed throughout the course are estrogen, progesterone, follicle-stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. Estrogen is a set of sexual reproductive organs that are produced mainly by the ovaries, although they can also be made in fat cells as well as in the adrenal glands. Included in this group are estradiol, estrone, and estriol. Estrogen regulates the menstrual cycle and guides the development of the sexual reproductive organs in puberty. It affects not only the sexual reproductive system, but many organ systems, including the brain and musculoskeletal systems. Progesterone is a sexual reproductive hormone produced and secreted by the ovaries, and more specifically, the corpus luteum after ovulation, as well as the adrenal cortex. It helps regulate the menstrual cycle and prepares the uterus for pregnancy by thickening its lining to support a fertilized egg. Follicle-stimulating hormone, referred to as FSH, is produced in the pituitary gland. This hormone is involved in the development of the reproductive system and helps regulate the menstrual cycle. Specifically, it triggers the production of eggs in the ovaries, readying them for ovulation. Lastly is luteinizing hormone, which is also referred to as LH, is produced by the pituitary gland and helps develop the reproductive system. LH regulates the menstrual cycle by stimulating steroid hormone production, which enacts processes such as ovulation and menstruation.